So there is Sean Haverty. Update these names real quick. Players are 3-0. Not sure if I mentioned that, but they are. All right, and it's round 4. Just updating my files here so we have accurate information at the top of the screen. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I know I spelled ad nauseum wrong. There we go. Let's restart the timer. There we go. Anyone is unhappy with the professionalism of my stream, I absolutely will accept unpaid volunteers. Please. There he is. There's the Snook. There's that tilted hat that we know so well. I need to fix one more thing. Looks like Sean deep in the tank for the mall. Really not sure. It says to me that Adam won the die roll and will be on the play. Sean on the draw. Trying to figure out whether this hand can combo or not, whether he can do better on 6 cards. Adam teaming with David Shields, longtime friend, roommate, etc. They've been through it all together. They are pairing up with Matt Costa, very talented wizard. Those boys playing in the Pro Tour. All right, here we go. So, Snooky Boy starts with Champion. He sees the bad news immediately. He says, oh boy, ad nauseum. As Sean starts with Lotus Bloom, Temple says, go. Of course, I must mention how good Meddling Mage is against ad nauseum. You just name the card ad nauseum, and then what do? If they don't pact it, they then must find the Lightning Storm, pay 3, kill the Meddling Mage, untap, go off with Lab Maniac. That's the only way to do it. So Snook absolutely will be leaning on Meddling Mage in this matchup. For now, though, all he has, Dali's Lieutenant, dropping his opponent to 17. So, sleight of hand from Sean. Serum Visions from Sean. And that's what he has here. All he can do is fix his draws and say go. Praying, hoping that his opponent has no Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage on Lotus Bloom or Ad Nauseum is most likely gaming during the first one here. After board, of course, Sean gets way more options. But pre-board, very difficult to deal with the Meddling Mage, in addition to a clock. Meddling Mage on its own, yeah, Sean could probably draw out of it. He can find something like spoils for Lightning Storm, spoils for Lab Maniac, and then spoils for a card that doesn't exist in his deck. That's an option. And it looks like all Snook has is a clock. So this is definitely not going to be enough to kill Sean. As Phantasmal Image copies Dahlia's Lieutenant. Not going to be enough to kill. It is going to be enough to absolutely threaten lethal on the next turn. So Sean has one turn. I'm not sure what Sean's at. I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 because effectively it's 1. To everyone new who's joined us, see a few new names there. Thank you. Say hi if you feel like it. Also, you guys think Sean's going to go off this turn? He's facing down a ton of damage. Certainly lethal. Will he be able to find it? I think this is during the upkeep right now. Lotus Bloom, I think, is on the stack. Maybe not, though. Lotus Bloom might have 1 counter left. God, this is only turn 3. Lotus Bloom has 1 counter. Okay, never mind. Jeez. Two mana, Pentad Prism. One of this mana basically has to be used for Angel's Grace. He says go. Oh, brutal. This is a Meddling Mage. Must be met with an Angel's Grace. Perhaps even a Pact. Yep, there's the Pact. Nothing Snook can do about that. Meddling Mage does not go to the bin because of, look at this, the Cavern of Souls. See the look on Sean's face right there. Have to imagine Snook named Angel's Grace. And now these creatures will swing. Not really sure if that was properly communicated by the players there. Sean should have had a window to cast Angel's Grace. He might have just declined to do it. Probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. And Snook wins game 1. That was a really sneaky Cavern of Souls. If it was against blue-white control, yeah. Blue-white control player would have realized, but you never think about the uncounterability versus a combo deck. Sean didn't realize it. I forgot about it. That was pretty awesome. And now, we go to sideboards. Adam Snook up a game. What kind of creatures is he going to have against Ad Nauseum? Well, he's going to have Sin Collector. It's a good one. He's going to have Reclamation Sage. Not a good one, but it's probably going to be better than Reflector Mage and Militia Bugle, so it should come in, I would imagine. So he has 3 Sin Collector, 2 Rec Sage, maybe a Kimball. I mean, that's probably better than Reflector Mage, probably worse than Mantis Rider. And of course worse than all the other cards. So is Kimball better than Militia Bugler? Hard to say, right? Because the Bugler, especially off an Aether Vial, goes searching for a Meddling Mage or a Freebooter, which can then be cast. Hard to say. Hard to say. Adam will certainly be siding against Sin Collector. That much is clear. He has 4 Slam Dunks to side out, 4 Reflector Mage. Absolutely being sided out for 3 Sin Collector and 1 Kimball or 1 Rec Stage. Whether Adam goes further than that, I'll leave that to him. Maybe we can ask him later. Sean Haverty on the other side, who is now down a game. Let me update that for you. Who's now down a game. I teased it in the pre-match, right? I said I absolutely hope that Sean's card gets Snook, right? Sean has the usual suite of the cards against control. He has another Pact. He has Thoughtseize. Echoing Truth is a catch-all. Wear Tear is a catch-all. Hercules Recall, catch-all. But the card that I'm really excited to see, 3 Bantu's Last Reckoning. That is spicy. And yeah, I've seen it in the sideboards of Ad Nauseum before. I wouldn't say it's standard. And I don't know if Snook knows about it, because Ad Nauseum is not a deck that is commonly practiced against. Can't imagine Snook thinks he's going to play against Ad Nauseum at the Pro Tour very much. So I think this Bantu's Last Reckoning here in Game 2 will really catch Snook with his pants down. In addition to the Bantus, Sean has 2 copies of Fatal Push. So even if, you know, the Freebooter comes in, sees a couple Bantus, Meddling Mage comes down on Bantus, Fatal Push will be able to mop that up. Sean's game does get a lot better after sideboard, I think. Still a tough matchup. It's got to improve from like 30%, 40%, 20% to 30%, something like that. Okay. Players shuffling up. Snook up the game. Sean down a game. Sean will be on the play for this Game 3. And that's pretty damn important, right? We saw that Lotus Bloom with 1 counter on it when Sean lost. Where's Sean on the play? 100% that Lotus Bloom would be in play. He'd have 6+ mana to work with. And he probably wouldn't have been able to find a victory there. So he's going to have Game 2 on the play. If he manages to win Game 2 and force a Game 3, he's going to have to be on the draw for Game 3. So uphill battle for Sean in a bad matchup. We'll see if he can do it. You guys in the chat, guys and girls, thank you for coming. Costa, appreciate your view. Maybe you're gonna see how good or bad your teammate is at Humans right here. Maybe have a few choice words for him later. I hope so. If you missed Game 1, Snook cheekily stuck a Meddling Mage through a Pact using his Cavern of Souls. So he does know what that one can do. Has an ability even against the combo deck. Look at him there. 1,000-yard stare. What's he thinking about? Did he get a verbal beatdown from Amanda this morning? I don't know. Did the new dog poop in his bed? Maybe. Sean looks much more calm, cool, and collected than Snook. Let's see if we can get a better 6. Looks like that's a no. He's going to 5 cards in a tough matchup. Gotta hurt. Definitely ways out of this though, right? Snook's Meddling Mage is almost certainly gonna name a combo piece, right? A blind Meddling Mage gonna name Ad Nauseum. Maybe gonna name Echoing Truth if he has like a second Meddling Mage, something like that. And he always has access to Kite Sail Freebooters, right? He has 4 of those, and that's a huge one in the matchup. Much better than Meddling Mage because of the Last Reckoning. So it's not like Sean just needs to draw Bantus and has a free path to victory. He has to draw the Bantus and have Snook miss on drawing Kite Sail Freebooter. We'll see what Sean can do with 5 cards here. God, one of them is Lab Maniac. That's rough. These players are 3-0. It's not like a loss knocks either player out. It's only a 6-round tournament. Both players need one more win to lock up a potential top 8 here. Sean pondering a 0 lander. He does throw it back. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the winner of this tournament not only gets $400, but does get free entry into our Titanium Plus in October, which is a $10,000 cash money tournament. That's being played at the DCU Center in Worcester. That is modern. That is a one-day event. It's not like you have to book a room to sleep over for the next day. No, we're going to play out the entire tournament that day. So you only have to be there one day. No hotel costs associated. That is a $10,000 tournament where the winner gets $3,000 for playing Modern. So whoever wins this tournament here in this room gets free entry to that. Hope you can join us. You can find the event page on Facebook, or you can email us about that event if you don't have Facebook. Here we go. Sean keeps 4 and puts a card on the bottom. Turn 2 sleight of hand. Sean's building up. Sean's building up. Without a Lotus Bloom, though, it's going to be really hard for him to even get to 5 mana. When you mold a 4, you just don't have a lot of resources. If we think about this combo as costing 6 mana, Ad Nauseum plus an Angel's Grace, well, that's 8 cards if you play fair, if each card only adds 1 mana. But Snook has a 1-lander, so he's not adding to the board. This says to me that Snook very likely has powerful sideboard cards here, or powerful main deck cards. If I had to guess, I'd say he has 1 mage, 1 freebooter. Only having 1 would be a pretty loose keep, but maybe he does. We'll see. 2 mana. Dahlia, that's a good one. That's a good one. Your opponent's on 4 cards. 2 mana, perhaps a meddling mage. Snook in the tank about what to name here. Gosh, not quite sure what that is. He was writing for a long time. If he named Bantu's Last Reckoning, he's a master. Costa, if he named Bantu's Last Reckoning, he is definitely going to win you guys this tournament. That means he is studying all the moto lists. Unlife for Sean. He's at 18. He was writing for a long time. I think that was Bantu's. Considering how much time he was writing for, he either named Bantu's Last Reckoning, Spoils of the Vault, or like Simeon's Spirit Guide. Those are the only cards with long enough names in Sean's list that it could be. I'm gonna try and get a judge to verify it for us, but they aren't a ruling, so it might be a second. Sin Collector. And the judges are going to be in another ruling. Because Phyrexian Unlife was cast through Thalia. Not a legal play. Looks like it was Sean who realized this. Not Adam. TJ's viewing crowd usually really good at giving players the benefit of the doubt, understanding that Magic is a really hard game. I've seen in bigger streams people always ready to jump down the players' throats, really just accuse people of cheating right off the bat, but almost certainly not the case. Sean's trying to figure out how to win, how to not die, not thinking about the Thalia on the other side of the board. So it appears to me as though the judges are discussing away from the table here in terms of timing, in terms of how many turn cycles have passed, and it was a short discussion. Judge Zack heading back to talk to the players here. See if we can get a camera angle with Judge Zack. Nope. Looks to me like we are rewinding. Random card being put on top of Adam's deck. And perhaps we're going all the way back to Sean's main phase. Not the ruling I would have expected. This seems like a ruling that was the situation a little different, this could really hurt Snook. Right? Like, let's say Snook was playing a blue deck and had mana open, and then that random card they put back from Snook's hand was his only counter that he had already had in hand. That could be brutal for him. Certainly not the case here, as this fix is very painless and does not affect anything. So here we go. Sin Collector comes down. Unlife, Ad Nauseum. Spoils, Fatal Push. Fatal Push, exiled. I know, excuse me, Phantasmal. Both these cards exiled. Brutal. Sean down to 16. Drawing thin here. Needs. Lotus Moon, probably not going to do it. Not going to be fast enough. I was going to say needs a Pentad Prism, which would have had Sunburst 3. Thanks to Thalia. But now he's drawing extremely thin. If Meddling Mage is on anything but Bantus, he can go land Bantus, I think. Or like Fatal Push Bantus. But this looks to be all but over here. In for 8. Sean Haverty falls to 8. And is this really a draw face Sin Collector? Jeez, Snook. You're a monster. If it comes into play tap land, means that Sean cannot even cast the Unlife. Temple means that the game is over. Adam Snook should advance here to 4-0, locking up yet another Titanium top 8. Attack, handshake, winning player right there. Congratulations, Snook. Moves on to 4-0. Sean, you're still in the running. You're 3-1. Don't give up hope. Make no pacts with negation. You're still alive here. No Unlife for you, not yet. If you go 3-0-0-2, we can consider the Unlife, but for now, you're still alive. Very nicely done. And this is about the earliest we're ending a round